Guys, gals, non-binary pals, have we got a video for you today? I know I say that every time, but I'm always excited. I wouldn't film the video if I wasn't excited about it. Before we get into it, I would love to direct your attention to the lovely people here on the side of the screen. If you don't know, it'd be very strange because I talk about it every single video. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you come, I'd love to have you. It's completely free, doesn't cost you anything at all. There is a link in the description. Also, follow me on Instagram. There is also a link in the description. Why not? You know, we have a good time over there. Alrighty, so the video that we are going to be talking about, the title of it is How to Eat Healthy on a Budget / 10 Tips to Burn Fat and Save Money. What a fantastic title. So this is actually coming from the YouTuber Autumn Bates, who I've actually made a video about before in the past. She had a video that was going kind of viral talking about how walking is better than running for weight loss. And I went over it. I kind of disagreed with some points. There were some points that I agreed with, but overall I was a little skeptical of the video. So when this came across my eye, I was like, interesting, because she does have good information, but there are a lot of times when I do disagree with some of the stuff that is being said. But the reason this is important to me is because weight loss, obviously very important, but almost as important is making weight loss accessible to everyone. Something that's important to me is a lot of people make weight loss seem like it is hard. It is hard, but that it's hard because it's expensive. And something that's really important is I want weight loss to be as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. So I want to show the easiest and the most cost-effective way to lose weight. That's something I talk about a lot. And so that's what this video is about. So let's get into it. All right, I'll stop rambling. I'm sorry. Let's do it.
The first tip to eat healthy on a budget,
I will say, shout out to her, zero intro. Very different from me. But she just goes into it. So shout out to that, you know? Because, okay, I'll stop.
Weight loss is your goal, is to choose the highest quality proteins at the lowest possible price. Because especially if you're looking to achieve a body recomposition goal.
So the highest quality protein at the most reasonable price, it's a very, like, I don't really understand that tip because it's like, well, I mean, why would you decide to choose cheap quality protein at a high price, right? But okay, I'm sorry.
Which is where you're losing body fat percentage while gaining or maintaining muscle mass. Opting for high quality complete proteins is the first biggest thing you need to consider. And specifically, we want the types of proteins that are going to be high in an amino acid called leucine. This is the most important amino acid when it comes to building or maintaining muscle mass, especially after a workout. Proteins low in leucine, especially if they aren't a complete protein anyway, are not going to be nearly as good at achieving that body recomposition goal.
So again, this is something that I don't necessarily disagree with, but again, like when we talk about losing weight, and especially if we're talking about losing weight and trying to do that in the most cost-effective way possible, focusing on these little things before we're even focusing on the amount of calories that you're eating, I don't understand why. Like, why would you make this the first tip, right? In my head, I know that it sounds like I'm being nitpicky, but there's more stuff to go over. But it's just like in my head, if we're talking about these are the most important things to eat healthy and lose weight on a budget, the first thing I would bring up is make sure you're in a caloric deficit and figure out how to get in a caloric deficit. Not talking about the quality of the protein that you're eating, because again, that's going to make people feel like they need to spend extra money for the higher quality protein, when in my experience, it's just not that necessary. Am I saying eat garbage food all the time? No. But if you feel like you can't afford stuff and you like want to eat frozen chicken and like you feel like that is better for you, or even like cheap chicken breasts that you can get at Walmart or whatever, like that's okay. And I promise you, because your boy did it, you can lose weight while still doing that, right?
Staying on a budget, but also balancing out this really important factor of leucine. The best proteins that you can have will first of all be eggs. Eggs are not only a complete protein, they're also fairly inexpensive.
That is true. Eggs are 100% a very good source of protein, and they're not expensive.
Of course, you can go for the really high quality eggs that are pasture raised and more packed with nutrients as a result, but at the very least, you can even go for organic eggs that are going to be about $2 to $4 per carton. Other really great options include ground beef.
So again, like that, it's like you also don't have to do organic eggs or don't have to do the pasture. Like you can use the cheap eggs, and I promise if weight loss is your goal, that is the most important thing to you, you can 100% do that while eating the regular eggs that aren't any more expensive than other ones.
which is going to be a lot less expensive than opting for steak or other nicer cuts of beef. Chicken thighs are generally less expensive than chicken breasts, and you can even buy these in bulk to save even more. And for more of the plant-based options, firm tofu or tempeh will be some of your best options. Greek yogurt is another really great high-quality protein source that's actually surprisingly packed with protein. One cup has around 20 grams worth of protein.
100%. Yeah, Greek chicken. That's a place here in San Diego. Greek yogurt is super packed with protein. It's actually not bad. I will say, plain Greek yogurt, a lot of people get mad at me. It tastes straight up like sour cream, so I can't eat it by itself. I just can't. Like, it's actually nice to put Greek yogurt on, like if you make tacos or something like that, or like even like burrito bowls, put Greek yogurt on top instead of sour cream. It's actually pretty good, but yeah, if we're just, and then there's like flavored Greek yogurts, which are great, but those are going to have a little bit more calories a lot of times, maybe a little bit more sugar, which personally I don't really mind that much, but I know some people, like maybe that might not work for you. But yeah, Greek yogurt is a really solid form of protein for sure.
And you can even make your own in a crock pot, which honestly was really not that hard at all. I do it every week now. And I even did a video on it. You can check that out right here. Which my name's Autumn and I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition and human performance. And the second tip to help you save money while working toward a weight loss goal is to keep it simple. The more
this right here, 100%. I cannot agree with this anymore. Keep it simple, stupid, right? KISS. That is so incredibly important to me, and if you've watched any of my full day of eatings, y'all know how incredibly simple I make the foods that I eat. You do not need to become a chef to lose weight, I promise you, or even just be healthy in general. Keeping it simple will save so much time, but will save you energy. It's if you like cooking, that's fine. Go do your thing, Iron Chef, Gordon Ramsay, you're out here. I know y'all, some of y'all are out there. But if you're like me and cooking for you is like just an evil necessity of life, it's okay. You can still be healthy and lose weight.
The more ingredients you use, the more expensive that meal is going to get. So when I'm looking to really cut down on my grocery bill for that week, I go for super simple recipes that don't require a lot of ingredients. So this would be something like my hoisin lettuce wraps that really just use ground meat.
I'm going to be honest, when I first watched this, I thought she said poison lettuce wraps. And I was like, yo, what? Y'all eating poison on purpose? But it's hoisin. Okay.
A hoisin sauce and then wraps, or my upgraded LA Street tacos from the Complete Intermittent Fasting Bundle. Now, if you're ever on Instagram looking for inspo for healthy meals, you probably see a lot of these really complex looking, beautiful meals. This is not necessary. If you have time for it.
And it's not like real life for the most part.
Great, but this tends to really increase the grocery bill. There are ways to strategically lay out your meals for the week so that you can use multiple different ingredients while still keeping the grocery bill lower. But as a good rule of thumb, keeping your meals simple is a great way to keep the grocery bill down. Okay, the third tip is to use frozen, not fresh.
100%. This is also a great tip. Frozen food, like people love to hate on like frozen vegetables. I use frozen vegetables all the time because one, they taste just as good, in my opinion. I feel like there's not that much of a difference. But also, they last forever, right? They're frozen. Like, I am a fan. I am even a fan of using frozen meats, which I know a lot of people judge me very harshly. And that's fine. You don't have to use it. But it's very, like, a pre-cooked frozen chicken, right? I don't have to worry. For me, when I cook chicken, I am always worried that I am going to undercook that thing and get salmonella poisoning. And I'm not trying to make that happen. I'm sorry. I don't want it. I'd rather it be cooked already and then we're good to go.
This can dramatically decrease your grocery bill. And when something's frozen, it actually retains a lot of the nutrient value that the fresh food has. And this goes for typical foods we would think of like berries or frozen fruit for your smoothies, but even a lot of vegetables and even avocado can be frozen. In fact, a lot of my clients have really been loving frozen avocado slices that you can get from Costco. And I haven't tried it out, but apparently it thaws out really well. So you also won't waste money when avocados inevitably always go bad. The fourth tip is to make homemade coconut milk. And even if you don't have a ton of time to cook, this literally takes 5 minutes. Not like almond milk where you need to soak it for 24 hours, then blend it, then strain it, and blah, blah, blah. This literally takes 5 minutes, and I have a recipe for it right here. But especially if you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal, this also ensures that there's going to be 0 added sugars, so you won't get any of that huge insulin spiking effect from the added sugars in a lot of pre-made coconut milks. Okay, the fifth tip.
I don't know. I've never made any sort of milk, so I don't have much to say on that.
is to stop buying foods like breads, pastas, and crackers.
Hey, man. Don't come for my bread, okay? We need to have a conversation. Why does this always happen? All right? Why? We're having a good time. We're just watching a video, enjoying ourselves, and then the bread police show up and they try and steal our breads. Okay? This is not acceptable. This is a free country. And you're not going to steal my bread from me. I have inalienable rights to conserve my bread. And I'm sick of this. All right? I'm sick of this. Unbelievable.
They might be cheap, but they're fillers. They're not foods that will help you with your weight loss or wellness goal, and they're taking a place within your grocery budget for foods that will work towards your wellness goals. Each of these foods contains highly refined ingredients, even if it's a quote Ezekiel bread, where it's going to greatly spike our blood glucose levels and as a result our storing hormone insulin. Not
interesting. This took a turn. This took a turn real quick, huh? Skirt.
to mention, these foods contain nearly 0 grams of protein and 0 grams of fat, meaning that it's going to have zero impact on boosting our satiety hormones, peptide YY, and CCK, meaning these foods are going to leave you more hungry and more in that storage mode. Instead, you can save the money that you use for these filler food items.
So what we're hearing here, right, is a lot of what you hear with people that are very into like keto. Again, nothing wrong with keto, okay? Please, keto people, calm down, okay? Just take your fingers off the keyboard for a second, please, all right? Don't attack me. But if you have a relatively healthy body and you're not like, you don't have issues with your blood your blood glucose and insulin and stuff, the thing that's frustrating to me is that people will say, if you eat bread, it spikes your insulin levels. It's like, yeah, okay. Your body is meant, that's okay. It's not the end of the world if that happens. Then it goes down, and then unless you have issues, right? Unless you're like type 1 diabetic or anything like that, then yeah, that's a problem. But if you're not, it's okay. Like, there is nothing wrong with bread. Like, I just want to make it very clear. I lost most of my weight eating sandwiches every day. I'm not joking. And I say sandwiches, plural, more than one, every day. That's what I ate when I was losing weight. You can absolutely lose weight and have bread and have crackers and have pasta. Am I saying that you need to eat those things? No. Okay? The reason that I get frustrated about this is because this just perpetuates the demonization of any type of carb, right? Bread, pasta, crackers, all of those things. It's like, those things bad. If you eat those, you can't lose weight. It's just not true. It's not true. And it's frustrating because that's what this makes it sound like. It's like, if you have those things, they're empty calories and it's useless and your body no, it's okay to have those foods. All right, I'll get off my soapbox.
For foods that will work towards your weight loss and wellness goals, like the eggs, the Greek yogurt, high quality fats, and high quality fruits and vegetables. Okay, the 6th tip is to stop buying snack items. Now, this is really important for achieving a weight loss goal because every time you eat, and this includes snacks, it causes the body to secrete the storing hormone insulin. And when this is high, the fat burning process is turned off. So one really big goal with achieving a weight.
So again, I don't need to explain myself. It's the same thing that I just said, just pasted over this, right? It's the same thing. There's nothing wrong with eating snacks. Like, yes, if you are constantly eating snacks and that's making you be at you're eating higher calories than you are burning, then yes, you're not going to lose weight. But if you eat snacks, but you are still in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. It's just so frustrating, man. Like, I know maybe it sounds like I'm being nitpicky, but like, this stuff is so frustrating. Because people will watch this and they believe what she's saying because she's talking really fast. She has all of these degrees, but it's like unnecessary, right? And again, this whole thing was how to eat healthy on a budget and 10 tips to burn fat and save money. It's like,
weight loss goal is to have gaps between your meals and stick to a meal structure. This means 0 snacks and instead putting the emphasis on high quality satiating meals, which is actually great because this means it's going to save you a lot of money on having to buy all these little protein bars and trail mixes. Plus, those different snack food items are generally packed with a lot of sugar anyway that will really greatly spike that storing hormone insulin. Okay, the 7th tip is to make your own coffee. Now, this is kind of a twofer as well because a lot of the coffees that you'll buy at Starbucks or different coffee shops are inherently going to have added sugars, especially if you're getting a dairy.
So, I mean, this one doesn't really make sense because if you go to Starbucks and you just get a black coffee, then no, it's not going to have all that stuff in it. It's don't put, like a better alternative to this would just be don't put a bunch of crap in your coffee, right? Like, I don't know. This one just, I don't understand this at all.
Dairy-free option, the nut milks that they're using are generally going to be sweetened anyway. Plus, depending on where you live, buying a coffee out can range anywhere from $3 to $6. And I know from living in LA that it can even go up to $8. And if you love your coffee and if you're drinking it every day, that adds up very quickly. So even if you're choosing a really high quality organic coffee, which is what I personally use, it will still end up saving you money than going out and buying a coffee every day. Plus, you'll have more control on what you're adding into your coffee, so it'll work better towards your weight loss goals. Okay, the 8th tip isn't necessarily a grocery tip, but it will save you money and work towards your weight loss goals, is to start intermittent fasting. Now, this is something really consistently a lot of my clients.
This is just silly. Like, doing intermittent fasting it just doesn't make any sense, dude. It like, why, when people get into intermittent fasting, does it turn into the answer for everything? If you do intermittent fasting, your grocery bill will be cheaper. You'll be able to eat whatever you want. You can have this. You can be in a caloric surplus and still lose weight. You can do, it's like, dude, intermittent fasting, I'm not a hater of it at all. I think that it works for a good amount of people. There is nothing wrong with intermittent fasting at all. But it's the way that people who are making money off of intermittent fasting, right, that they promote it as it is the end-all, be-all, savior of everything. That's the problem I have. Intermittent fasting in and of itself is not a problem. But when we start to make it seem like it is the savior, it's Jesus Christ in diet form, I'm sorry, but I just don't agree.
Clients and A and peeps have said once they started to intermittent fast is that they've noticed that they don't have to buy as much food when they're at the grocery store. And this isn't because they're eating less. It's because they're not having to make as many different meals that require as many different ingredients, which, remember, the more ingredients you have, likely the higher your grocery bill will be. Not to mention, intermittent fasting is a really great tool to help you achieve a weight loss goal when done the right way, which you can check out one of my videos on this right here. Okay, the 9th tip to save you money is to not buy those fancy health drinks. Think things like kombucha, pre-made green teas, those mushroom coffees. It's not to say that these can't be part of your wellness journey, but if you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal, you want to prioritize your grocery bill around the foods that will be most important to achieving your weight loss and wellness goal. And
I'm just going to say most like health drinks are just a waste of money, like 100%. And a lot of them have like a ton of extra calories for no reason. I remember when I first started losing weight, I used to buy those naked drinks a lot. I remember when those were really popular. And then I remember looking at the back and being like, holy crap, the amount of calories in this thing. So like, for the most part, I always say if you can avoid liquid calories, that's a good idea, right?
the various kombuchas, green juices, pre-made green teas are a nice added perk, but they're completely unnecessary to actually be achieving a weight loss or wellness goal. And each of these can really rack up the grocery bill. Okay, the 10th tip is to make homemade zero sugar sauces. The zero sugar is especially important because a lot of the cheap pasta sauces and salad dressings or condiments are going to be loaded with sugar and they will really add up. And sugar is the biggest driver of our storing hormone insulin that will completely shut off fat burning mechanisms. And
my dude. And just saying it so quickly, right? Bro, that is not true. Like, basically it's saying if your blood sugar spikes, you can't burn fat. Like, I'm just like, how does that make sense when we have thousands and thousands of people that are not doing keto, that are eating carbs consistently, that are able to lose weight over time? Like, how? Like, it's so frustrating because it's said with such authority, right? As like a fact. It's not maybe. It's like, no. If you have sugar and you have carbs, it will shut down all of your fat burning hormones and let's just keep moving on. And then someone that's watching this that doesn't know this stuff, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, the way that they said it, this is how anyone that's into keto and all this stuff are. Again, there's nothing wrong with keto, but when you claim that it does stuff that it doesn't, that's the problem, right? To say that, like, oh, if you have bread, yeah, you can't burn fat. It's just not true. Okay, we'll keep going because I could go on forever, but.
And there are now a lot of really great store-bought zero sugar dressings and pasta sauces, but they tend to be a lot more expensive. So if you're looking to really keep your grocery bill lower, instead of buying those zero sugar options, you can simply make your own, which I personally make my own enchilada sauce, my own pestos, my own miso dressing for that exact reason. A lot of the recipes are from my complete intermittent fasting program, which I do have linked below. And what's
Wow, that's crazy, dude. I was not expecting that at all. That's wild. There's something to sell after all this. That's crazy. But the thing is like that last tip, right? There's nothing wrong. Like, I don't disagree, right? Like, sauces and all that stuff, those things are a lot of time have a lot of calories in it. But there are a lot of times stuff at the grocery store that isn't packed with calories, that doesn't have a ton of sugar in it, that is not that much more expensive. Or if you do want to make it at home, that's also a great option if you have the time. And like, but again, that's going to take a lot of time making all of these sauces, right? So I don't know. And then, I mean, the program thing, I mean, who's surprised? I don't think anybody is, right?
What's really great about these is you can make a big batch of them at once and keep them in your freezer. That's actually exactly what I do. I have a bunch of single servings of enchilada sauce that I save within my freezer, so I can just take it out when I need it and use it for recipes like my enchilada sauce tacos, which if weight loss is your goal, you can check out my tips on how you can lose 20 pounds with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in.
It's my science-backed information that I cherry-picked from the articles that I think are correct. Welcome to the internet. That's how everything works. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't have anything else to say. I'm going to be nice. Okay, bye.